We are taught a comforting lie from the time we are children. We are told that if you are a good person, if you work hard, and if you treat others well, you will naturally be respected. Look around you. Is that true? The world is full of good, hard-working people who are constantly overlooked, interrupted, and treated like they are invisible. They bend over backwards for their friends, their bosses, and their partners, only to be taken for granted. Why? Because human psychology is not built on fairness. It is built on perception. It is built on economics. In the world of dark psychology, value is not inherent. It is manufactured. You are not respected because of who you are on the inside. You are respected based on how you condition others to perceive you. Respect is a currency, and just like any currency, it is governed by the laws of supply and demand. If your presence, your time, and your attention are always in high supply, their market value drops to zero. You become subjected to emotional inflation. Today, we are opening the darkest chapters of human nature. We are looking at the architecture of value. By the end of this video, you will understand the unspoken rules of forcing others to respect you, not by asking for it, but by leaving them no other choice. To understand how to command respect, we must turn to Robert Greene's 16th law of power. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Greene writes, "Too much circulation makes the price go down. The more you are seen and heard, the more common you appear." Let us look at history. In ancient Media, there was a man named Deioces. He wanted to be king, but the land was divided. So Deioces became a judge. He was incredibly fair, highly intelligent, and solved everyone's disputes. The people became entirely dependent on him. And then he stopped. He retired. He refused to hear any more cases. He retreated into his home and shut the door. What happened? Without him, the society descended into chaos. The crime rate spiked, the disputes went unresolved. The people realized exactly what his value was because they suddenly felt the pain of his absence. They marched to his door and begged him to be their king. He didn't fight for the crown. He withdrew, and they placed it on his head. This is the dark psychology of value. You cannot make someone respect you by giving them more of yourself. If they are disrespecting you, it means they are already oversaturated with your presence. When you are always available to text back immediately, when you always say yes to favors, when you never have competing plans, you become like air, essential perhaps, but completely ignored because it is always there. To force respect, you must create a vacuum. You must become a rare commodity. When someone disrespects your time or your boundaries, you do not argue, you do not explain why your feelings are hurt. You simply remove your presence. You pull back your attention. The sudden coldness, the sudden lack of your energy creates psychological panic. They realize your presence is a privilege, not a right. Once you have mastered your absence, you must master your presence. This brings us to Robert Greene's 34th law. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. How you carry yourself dictates how the world is allowed to treat you. People are inherently lazy. They do not want to take the time to figure out your true worth. Instead, they look for shortcuts. They look at how you treat yourself and they copy it. If you walk into a room with your shoulders slumped, apologizing for taking up space, speaking softly so you don't offend anyone, you are wearing a sign on your chest that says, "I have low value. You may treat me poorly." Consider Christopher Columbus. When he approached the Spanish monarchs to fund his voyage, he was technically a nobody. He had no money, he had no ships, he was a foreigner. Yet he did not beg. He did not ask for a small favor. He demanded the title Grand Admiral of the Ocean Sea. He demanded 10% of all the wealth he discovered. He demanded that his titles be passed down to his heirs forever. He asked for the world, and because his demands were so audaciously high, the king and queen subconsciously assumed he must be worth it. He set his own price, and they paid it. In your own life, you must set the internal frame of a king or queen. You must stop waiting for other people to validate you. When you sit, sit comfortably and take up space. When you speak, speak slowly from your diaphragm and do not rush your words. Rushing implies that you are afraid the other person will stop listening. When you look someone in the eye, do not be the first one to look away. Let the silence stretch. Let them feel the weight of your presence. When you act as though you are inherently valuable, their primitive parts of the brain will believe you. The most dangerous person in any room is not the loudest. It is the person who needs nothing. This is known in negotiation as strategic intractability. The ultimate leverage in any relationship, business, romantic, or social, is the absolute, genuine willingness to walk away. Think about it. Why do people disrespect you? Because they have subconsciously calculated that you will not leave. They believe they have trapped you. They think you need the job, you need the friendship, or you are too afraid of being alone. As long as they believe you are afraid to lose them, they hold the power. To force respect, you must destroy this illusion. You must cultivate a mindset of absolute independence. If a client disrespects your pricing, you do not negotiate against yourself. You calmly state your price, and if they refuse, you walk away without a trace of anger. If a partner disrespects your boundaries, you do not yell. You simply pack your things and leave the environment. Do you feel that silence? That's what you must give them. When you walk away, you shatter their reality. You prove that your life is perfectly fine without them in it. You flip the dynamic. Suddenly, they are the ones who have lost something. They are the ones scrambling to figure out what went wrong. He who cares the least controls the frame. When you show that you are willing to let it all burn rather than accept disrespect, you become untouchable. How do you apply this in real time? What do you do in the exact second someone insults you, talks over you, or tries to belittle you in front of others? Most people react. They get defensive. They insult back. If you do this, you lose. You have let them control your emotional state. You have proven that their words have power over you. Instead, you use the void. When someone disrespects you, stop what you're doing, look them dead in the eyes, and say absolutely nothing. Hold eye contact for 3 to 5 seconds. Do not scowl, do not smile. Keep your face completely deadpan, like you were looking at a confusing piece of modern art. Let the silence become agonizing. Let everyone in the room feel the tension. By not reacting, you are silently communicating what you just said was so utterly stupid and so beneath my level that I will not even dignify it with a response. Eventually, the pressure will break them. They will laugh nervously. They will try to backpedal. They will try to fill the silence. They have lost their frame, and you have consumed all the power in the room simply by doing nothing. Respect is not a moral right. It is a psychological conquest. To review the unspoken rules of value, first, master the economics of absence. Withdraw your presence to increase your worth. Second, act like a king. Demand high value from yourself, and the world will pay your price. Third, hold the ultimate leverage. Always be willing to walk away from any table where respect is no longer being served. And finally, when tested, offer them nothing but the terrifying void of your silence. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are shaping it. You are writing the code that dictates how others are allowed to interact with you. The masses will continue to beg for respect. They will continue to argue. Let them. The world is a chessboard. Most are just pawns. It is time to move like the king. If you are ready to stop being a pawn and master the hidden mechanics of human nature, subscribe to the Unspoken Rules. We decode what they don't want you to see. New strategy weekly. Master the game.